weekend, you could have made over 1,100% in just 36 hours had you bought the Trump meme coin. Then things got a little bit rough and it dropped 50%. But here's the thing. I think things are going to get a lot worse, not just for crypto, but for that coin in general. But why? Let's go ahead and break it down. This gets quite interesting when you dig into the details and start to connect the dots for the Trump meme coin and for investors as a whole. So go ahead and get your seatbelts and get your notepads, because ooh. All right, so I dug into the details for the Trump meme coin, and they pretty much tell you exactly what this is off the top. The first one is this. It tells you that this coin is pretty much worthless, and hopefully, especially if you're watching this channel, I think you know that, right? It is a meme coin. By definition, it is worthless. And what they say on their website is, quote, it is a expression of support, end quote, which means what? It doesn't do anything. Not all crypto is made equal. I know some people make it oversimplified. Bitcoin, whether you like it or not, does serve a purpose, right? Some of these do something, others don't. An expression of support ain't nothing. It's just some words, right? Arguably, an expression of support is a t-shirt. It's a hat. At least that'll keep you warm to a degree, right? This expression of support as a coin does nothing. But the issue, which they also cite on their site, and you can read on almost any news site, tells you this. 80% of the coins are held by two groups. One of those groups is a subsidiary of the Trump organization, and another one, we don't know who that person is, and we don't know what the split is of the 80%. Is it 70% Trump organization and 10% the other group? We don't know. But here is the problem with that, which is something I did tell y'all about just last week around things you don't want to do as an investor. These pump and dump schemes work like this. Somebody buys or creates, in this case, something, they hold the majority of it, and they pump these assets up, and then they pull the rug, they sell it and dump everything. Well, when 80% is held by just two people or two organizations in this case, what do you think happened? That is how something can jump 1,100% and fall 50% right after someone gets sworn in, or right after your wife launches a coin in this particular instance. That is a major concern, and that is how people get burned. Let's take another example in the case of the Haktua coin, something else we covered just a few months ago. That coin shot from basically zero to $500 million in value and dropped 90% in just seconds. Pretty much all of the value of that coin was held by one group. I guess it was the business that launched the coin. Guess what happened? They sold almost immediately. That is what happens when you have so much money concentrated with the person or the people who hype up the value of that particular asset. You, the investor, can get burned quite easily, and in the case of crypto and penny stocks, quite quickly. Now, how do you take that and make this even bigger for crypto as a whole? Here is where this kind of scares me a little bit more, right? We can avoid meme stocks. I told y'all to avoid meme stocks and meme coins, all right? That should go without saying, but here's the thing. Now, depending on which news source you're looking at, most are centering around about $58 million in profit is what people are saying the Trump organization did profit from in that 36-hour span. The thing is, Trump, now President Trump, has said that he was going to be pro-crypto. He was going to put in a pro-crypto person over the Securities and Exchange Commission. He was going to be the first, really, spoke at the Bitcoin conference. He was going to do a lot to stabilize the crypto industry. And I was kind of nodding like, okay, you spoke at the Bitcoin conference. I ain't never seen no president speak at the Bitcoin conference. He's probably about that life for Bitcoin. Until you make almost 60 million, why would you put in rules to prevent yourself from making another 60 million? Put it like this. If you had a printer to print out money, would you then create a rule that you could no longer have that printer? most of us would absolutely not do that. Why? Right? Well, think of it this way. Remember, what investors need is structure. We need rules to prevent things like the Hawk Tuah coin. We need rules to prevent something like an FTX falling apart and not having a structure. Just a few years ago, when those banks collapsed, we had the FDIC in place. We had things to ensure investors, when scams fell apart, when banks collapsed, that we had places to go and we had insurance to say, you, the investor, will be protected. When Binance and all these other random apps fell apart, investors were just left to crumble. And you really didn't have any recourse. You either got your money back via lawsuit, maybe, or you didn't. That was it. You didn't get your money back. Well, now, if the president himself, who would be helping to either sign these things into law, is now at the head of the table and can create your own coin out of nowhere, why would you stop yourself from doing that? What would be the point, right? You and your wife can launch a coin like that. What would be the point in doing so? I'm not entirely sure. There's no incentive for you to do that. And in most cases, I think almost all presidents, at least in recent memory, have put their assets in what is called a blind trust, where you don't know what your assets are invested in, and that kind of creates a barrier to de-incentivize certain laws and things to be put in place. That has not been the case, and is not something he did in his first administration. So now I am less confident around where crypto may go. I was more confident the first time around. Now, not so much with the launch of this coin, and we'll see whether or not the coin will or will not make money in the future, but you know, we'll see where that goes. The other issue there with this thing is, when it comes to meme coins or just coins in general, I'm not talking about Bitcoin, the more established ones, there are between 40 to 50,000 coins launched every single day. 40 to 50,000 coins launched every single day. The barrier to entry is underground. It ain't the floor. It is underground, which means that the field for memes and trash and scams are everywhere. Unlike a stock where you have to have a company go through the legal process, have people to underwrite it, and just go through this thing just to get your stock listed for the most part, you have to go through a lot of stuff. And that's not to say that just because you have a stock listed that is going to make money. We know that that's not the case, but there are so many things that you have to go through just to say that, hey, this thing is vetted. If I could probably get somebody on Fiverr to launch a coin within a month or two. Maybe we should, just to prove that the bar is on the floor, okay? Somebody remind me to do that in the comments. Just to prove that it can be done by somebody who's not a tech genius, and we'll call it bread or something. No, seriously, remind me in the comments, and we'll see what it costs to do that. If it's cheap, we're gonna do that. But that's the thing here. It's on the floor, and that is a problem. It should be a higher bar. It should be more difficult to do, and there should be some standards. There should be something that say, hey, you need to do X, Y, and Z. You need to have X amount of money. I'm not saying $1 million or anything like that, but we got to have some standards and some protections in place to prevent investors from losing money, right? Now, you got to still do your research and all that kind of stuff. You want to throw your money away, that's fine, right? Investors who know how to research, which you should, we've done videos on that, we're going to be okay. But people who are new to this space, they don't. Not everybody does, right? And we want to make sure that we have some base level guardrails, right? Every car gonna have seatbelt. Crypto does not have those basic seatbelts at all, and they should. And now, I'm not sure if he wants to put seatbelts on it because, I mean, look at it, right? Why would you do that at this point in time? And that brings me to this point here. This is the thing. Before I knew that this was a thing, before I knew this thing was going to launch, it's not something I had on my bingo card, we just 24 hours into this new administration. I said there's going to be a lot of things that were going to happen. Some good, some bad, some unexpected. This was the unexpected in less than 24 hours from the inauguration. This is what I did warn y'all about when it comes to doing your research. Did we not just talk about doing your, why y'all think I did a video on doing research? And why do you think months ago I said that I think silly season is coming back around, where investors lose their mind and start investing in things that don't make sense, where investors invest in trash. Why do y'all think I said that? I have seen this type of story before. And the reason why I'm concerned is because whether it's the Trump thing or not, just take the politics out of it, Doge was dumb. But it shot up 21,000% or whatever it was, and it was taken off up until Elon Musk, look at how he has evolved since then, got on SNL and said, yeah, it's a hustle. That it was a joke. And here we are, right? And now it's coming full circle and trying to make it a legitimate department of the government. Like, what are we doing here? What kind of world are we living in? But from a financial perspective, as funny as some people may see this as being, losing 50%, that's a real money. That's of your real money, right? And I want to make sure that you have the tools to say, hey, I'm not investing in this because I know for a fact that's not going to work. And I have the tools and research to say, this has a higher likelihood of making me money. And you can tell what works and what doesn't because you are a subscriber of this here channel. So that's your opportunity to go and hit that button. And then others can look at you and say, oh, how did you know that? Because I subscribe to this channel. Okay, so that's one way that you can tell. But that's the thing, right? That's going to be the thing that's going to separate you from making money and those who don't, because those same people are going to continue to fall. And there are people right now who saw, oh, you made 1,100%. Oh, you started off at $7 and shot to 75. The problem, especially when it comes to crypto scams and crypto meme coins, is because there is no logic behind it. There is not going to be a strategy or a way for you to know when to get in, when to get out, and why. And it's a 24-hour market. There is no strategy. It is literally just luck and maybe a tweet and the luck. Who knows? There's nothing behind it for it to spike or drop when it does. Nobody knew it was coming, and it popped out, and then nobody knew it dropped until, oh wait, now his wife has one. Who knows if his son might not have one by the time this video comes out? I don't know. Nobody does. And there is no luck in that. And there is luck in it, right? But there is no investing strategy and you making a fortune off of that. There's a very good way for you to lose a ton of money. And it's not a way for you to get consistently rich. If you want a blueprint for how this fails, look at what happened during the pandemic. Those people who were heavy into AMC, heavy into GameStop, heavy into Dogecoin, are not still rich now, are they? You can probably think of that one famous guy, was Roaring Kitty, and that might be it. That's one dude. A lot more people on that Reddit channel and Reddit thread that was talking a whole bunch of mess that did make it. They did make it. And that's not to, disparage anybody. I'm just saying you need the basics in a time like this, because just like I said last week, it's going to get real noisy, and it already has. So if you want good investment techniques and how to research and cut down the noise, and trust me, you are going to need it in a time like this, these are the videos that you want to watch next.